Hi everyone, my name is Steve Kligerman, pronouns he, him, his, and I am a career consultant at the Yukon Center for Career Development. Today I will be presenting on LinkedIn as part of our Husky to Hire series. Before we get into LinkedIn, I want to briefly talk about becoming career ready, what career competencies are, and what specific competencies this presentation and you building your LinkedIn profile will help develop. Becoming career ready comes from the National Association of Colleges and Employers Foundation of Career Readiness, which is having the ability to demonstrate core competencies that broadly prepare the college educated for success in the workplace and lifelong career management. In simpler terms, becoming career ready is the development and articulation of these 8 competencies that have been identified by employers as essential for career success. We have some great resources on our website, career.yukon.edu, to help you identify your competency levels and ways to further develop them. Today's presentation and working on your LinkedIn profile will help develop these following competencies: career and self-development, your ability to speak and write about your career journey; communication, specifically written communication within your profile; professionalism, being able to demonstrate your ability to work in a professional work environment; and technology, by effectively using the LinkedIn platform. In this presentation, I will cover some of the main features and uses of LinkedIn. I'll address setting up your profile, joining groups, how to connect with people, utilizing the Alumni search tool as well as the job search function, what to do on your newsfeed, and other tips regarding the platform. LinkedIn is a fantastic tool that should be part of your professional branding. There are more than 660 million users, and 90% of recruiters report using LinkedIn to find candidates. You can maintain your professional online presence, document your experiences, skills, and achievements, explore major and career paths, engage in conversations about career interests, research and follow employers, apply to internships, co-ops, and jobs, network with alumni and key professionals, and more. Before working on your profile, you'll want to get all of your settings customized to your liking and comfortability. Under the Me tab, go to Settings and Privacy. From here, you can go through all of the options for your account. One in particular you will want to set is under Visibility and then Profile Viewing Options. This is where you can decide what information others will see when you view their profile. You can set it so it is your name, headline, and picture. You can have your information generalized or even fully anonymous. Just know that whatever you set will affect the information you can see when others view your profile. Within your settings, you can also decide on your job-seeking preferences to let employers know you are open to learning of new opportunities and being approached about applying for an open position. These are all the areas of a profile that I will address and explain. You may not have all of these as part of your profile, but it is important to understand all that you can include and what those sections should look like. The URL for your profile is going to be www.linkedin.com/in/ and then your name with lots of letters and numbers together. You can edit your URL to make it more visually appealing and easier to use on your materials, such as your resume heading. The typical customized URL would be first name, last name. As you can see here, mine is Steve Kligerman, but you can make it whatever you would like. You may need to adjust with initials or other simple changes if others have already taken that customized LinkedIn URL. For the components of your profile, we will start with your profile photo and background image. Your profile picture should be appropriate and clear. The level of formality depends on the field you are interested in. If you are pursuing a career in a field where business attire is expected, then I would recommend having your picture reflect that. If your field tends to be more casual in its attire, your picture can be more casual. It should not be a selfie or a group picture that you have cropped. It can be a headshot or a picture of you in action doing something related to your field of interest or something you're involved with. While a profile picture is not required, I would strongly recommend including one, as profiles with pictures are viewed at much higher rates than those without. We typically offer professional headshots for LinkedIn at our career fairs. For your background image, you can leave this as is or customize it. Again, whatever you choose, make sure it is appropriate. When you are making decisions on your LinkedIn, think of it as representing who you want to be in your career. That goes from the photos you choose to what you decide to comment. Moving on to your name and headline, make sure the name you use on your LinkedIn account matches the name you will be using to apply for jobs. That way, employers can easily look up your profile. For your headline, this is what people will see along with your name and picture when they search you or when you are listed as part of a group or another person's connection. You can see my headline is Career Consultant at the University of Connecticut. You can put what your current position is, either at an internship or other employment, if you feel like that is relevant to your future goals, what you are studying, or what you aspire to be, something like aspiring marketing specialist. Do not put something like seeking employment. You also want to avoid anything too generic, such as student at UConn. Think about what you want others to see there. If you don't put anything in your headline, it will automatically put what your current or most recent position is or was. For location, choose the closest metropolitan area to where you live, or if you are searching elsewhere, where you're looking for jobs. Putting in the zip code of where you want to live will give you the metro options. You can only choose one location, so if you are searching in multiple areas, you'll have to choose just one. Adjust your contact information to what you are comfortable with. You can include your UConn email if you want that public. Finally, your school and most recent company from your experience section will also be listed. For some of you, the University of Connecticut will appear twice. Don't worry about this, as it is just what comes standard as part of your profile. Your About section is your LinkedIn elevator pitch. Use this space to highlight your background, experiences, or things you're passionate about, skills that relate to your areas of interest, or industries you are considering. This can be written in first or third person. You can write multiple paragraphs, but be careful about putting too much in here. You'll want to make sure you utilize this section, as not everyone on LinkedIn does, and it's a great way to give the person looking at your profile a better glimpse into who you are. You can see this example here of what a student's About section might look like. The Experience section is where you can include any work, co-op, or internship experiences. Make sure you include your start and end dates for your listed positions. You'll want to put descriptions of what you did at each experience. If you are new to a job or internship, you may not have the content to put in a description, so just make sure you go back and enter one once you have a better grasp of your responsibilities. Similar to bullet points on your resume, you want to highlight skills and noteworthy projects that may pique the interest of the reader. You'll want to focus on essential and transferable skills, since unlike your resume, this will not be tailored to a specific job or internship you are applying for. You can also add external documents or links to sites, videos, or presentations that you have worked on as part of each experience. For your education section, list the University of Connecticut rather than a specific campus or school and college affiliation to optimize searchability. To also optimize your searchability, you'll want to use the pre-populated options for your degree, such as Bachelor of Arts, and your field of study. You can include your GPA if you would like, and any activities or societies you have been involved with. You could also include these under accomplishments or organizations, which we'll talk about in a minute as well. Under description, you can put any additional information you would like to include, such as your minor, individualized major title, or a concentration. Within the licenses and certifications section, include any current ones that you believe are relevant to your career interests and aspirations. If you don't have any, you don't need to worry about this section. For volunteer experience, you can list any volunteer work you've participated in. I would recommend only including volunteering in this section that either relates to your career aspirations or is something that you have committed a lot of time and effort into, are really passionate about, or it had a lasting effect on you. If it is something you did only once or twice for a short period of time or was years ago, you'll want to leave it out. For your skills and endorsements section, include your technical, career-related skills, as well as any transferable skills that you have. Add skills with the Add a New Skill button and arrange them by clicking on the pencil. You can choose your top 3 skills that will show automatically with the pin button, and also arrange the order of your other skills that will be under the Show More section. LinkedIn will automatically categorize them for you. Your connections can endorse individual skills that you have listed. The more a skill is endorsed, the better it looks and more weight it will carry for those viewing it. To get endorsements on your skills, you can simply ask those that you have worked with, either at a job, internship, co-op, club or organization you're involved in, or within the classroom, that have seen your skills on display. You can also endorse others that you are connected with, and oftentimes I've found that they will do the same for you once they see that you've endorsed them. The next section you can have is a recommendation section. You can request a recommendation from one of your connections. This is going to be different than your typical letter of recommendation. These typically are only a few sentences to 1 paragraph long. You can either ask someone to write one of these for you, or when someone is writing a regular letter of recommendation for you, you can ask them to add part of it as a recommendation on LinkedIn as well. Make sure you ask someone to write you a recommendation before sending them a request for one. Recommendations carry more weight than endorsements since it takes more effort. Now is a great time to ask for these. They can be from club advisors, faculty members, supervisors, or even classmates that you have worked with on projects together. Within accomplishments on your profile, there are multiple subcategories that you can have. You can include publications, certifications, patents, relevant coursework, academic projects, honors and awards, test scores, languages, and organizations. Add anything you would like that you believe is relevant. A few notes for some of these subcategories. For test scores, you only want to include field-specific exams, such as the CPA exam. You should not be putting test scores for things like class exams or school entrance exams such as the SAT or ACT. For language, be honest about your level of proficiency. Under organizations, I mentioned earlier you could put some of those under the activities and societies within your education section. If you prefer, you could put those here, or also add any organizations that were not related to your educational experience. The same goes for certifications, as you can put those here or as part of your licenses and certifications section under background. The final section of your profile is your interests. There are 4 categories of interests that you can follow on LinkedIn. The first category is influencers. These are people that have a large following and are influential in their field. Someone like Bill Gates would be an example of this. The next category is companies. You can follow companies that you would like to work for, are leaders in your field of interest, or any other company that you're interested in. Following them will help you stay up to date on any news about them. Schools is another category of interests. Follow schools you've either attended already or are interested in attending. Finally, the last category within interests is groups. Groups are smaller cohorts of LinkedIn members who share something in common, such as an interest, geographical area, job function, or identity. Join groups to see what's going on in your field and to connect with other members. There are 3 types of groups you can join. Affinity groups such as UConn Alumni, professional organizations such as the American Physical Therapy Association, and interest groups such as research methodology and statistics in the social sciences. Use these groups to engage in conversations, stay current with trends in your areas of interest, and access their members list. To search for these groups, or the companies, influencers, or schools I mentioned earlier, type in the search bar at the top of the page. You can filter by these categories and find what you are looking for or what you want to explore further. If you are part of a group, you have the ability to message other members of that group, even if you're not connected with them. Normally, you are not able to message someone you do not already have a connection with on LinkedIn. Expand your network on LinkedIn by connecting with classmates, professors, colleagues, family members, and more. The larger your network, the more likely you are to find links to people in your field or at companies you are interested in or applying to. You only want to connect with people you know, or people you are intentionally trying to connect with because you want to learn more about them and their careers. When trying to connect with others, you have the option to add a note. If you recently met someone that you are now connecting with, it is a good idea to remind them when and where you met them in part of that note. If you do not know the person but you are looking to grow your network in a certain area, include that information in your note. You are limited to 300 characters, so you'll need to keep it short. You can see my example of the note that I included when connecting with Jonathan Husky. Hi Jonathan, it was great meeting you at the internship session during the NACE conference. I would love to stay in touch and hear more about your experience in the field. Best, Steve. This is short, simple, and a great way to remind Jonathan of how we met in the first place. One great tool you can use as part of LinkedIn is the Alumni Search tool that is part of a school's page. See all of the people associated with the school by searching the university or college. Click on Alumni and you can see information on the more than 160,000 alumni associated with UConn on LinkedIn. You can see a breakdown of their geographic location, where they work, what they do, what they studied, and more. You can also filter within these different areas. You could search for alumni who studied marketing and see what areas they work in. Then you can look at people's profiles that fall into that category. Look through to see the companies they have worked for, what skills they have listed, what some of their responsibilities have been, etc. This can give you insight into the different career paths individuals have taken in the fields you are considering. If any of these profiles are similar to what you could see yourself doing, reach out to them to see if they would be willing to speak to you about their experiences. LinkedIn also features a job search tool. Similar to other job search sites, you can customize your search with different filters, set alerts, and more. It will even show you connections you have that are associated with the company. These will be either direct connections or ones associated with companies or schools you are a part of on your profile. Within the Jobs tab, there is also an interview prep section with commonly asked questions, explanations for why companies ask specific questions, and other general tips. Part of managing your LinkedIn profile is staying up to date with your connections by reading articles they post, congratulating others on promotions or new jobs, and looking for opportunities for yourself. It is good practice to look at the feed under Home to do all of this. You can also post yourself, so feel free to share interesting articles you find or post about opportunities surrounding some of your extracurricular activities. Let's say a club you're involved with has a speaker coming to campus. LinkedIn is a great way to advertise that event if you are connected with many of your classmates. Depending on your settings, your activity can be public. So if someone is looking at your profile, they may be able to see articles you have shared recently and how you've been interacting with others on the platform. This is a small detail, but it can be a positive representation of you if you have been active on LinkedIn by participating in conversations and congratulating your connections on their accomplishments. A few other tips for you regarding LinkedIn. On the Center for Career Development's website, we have a few videos on our Career On Demand page that help with various LinkedIn topics, including how to write a connection request to someone you've met or someone you haven't met. LinkedIn does offer a premium paid account option, but at the Center for Career Development, we know a number of ways to do what the premium account does for free. We would be happy to meet with you to discuss what you are looking to do as you consider a paid account. Finally, the Center for Career Development also offers one-on-one appointments to go more in depth on some of the features of LinkedIn or to go over how your profile looks. You can schedule an appointment with us on Handshake. Thank you for joining us, and have a great day.